Xabi Alonso to Chelsea. This appointment was made weeks ago. The announcement was made already by the club. But honestly, I'd like to be very optimistic about this. I'd like to think that this is where things change, but I'm not so sure that's going to be the case. I honestly think that his fate will be determined by the crop of players that he's provided with. Now, you'd think, oh, that's the case with every single manager. It is to an extent. I think you know how things will go for certain managers just by the type of clubs they choose to coach. So, for example, Xabi Alonso, good coach, did a great job at Leverkusen. In fact, I remember when he joined Leverkusen, they were near the relegation zone. He joined, they finished 6th. They got to a Europa League semi-final, and then the next season they won the league, got to the Europa League final. Unfortunately, they lost. And then the season after that, I don't think they won anything, but they finished 2nd. And then he went to Madrid, and and it was such an obvious move, and it was the move everyone knew he was going to make. And I just had so many bad feelings about that move. I didn't think the players would suit his. I don't think his ideas would suit the players that they would provide him. And Real Madrid isn't really that type of club to go to if you want to implement your ideas. You just have to go and you pretty much make the most out of what they give you. That's the type of club Real Madrid is, and Chelsea's like that to an extent. Hence why that's why I'm very cautious about this move, because despite Chelsea's decline under new ownership, it's still the same scenario recruitment wise. Like you make the most of what you're given. You don't really have a say in recruitment. You just work with what you're given, and that's not really changed. That's not really changed. Now, if it's the case now that Alonso is the new guy to go with, let's just go along with the impression that we're given, right? Again, head coach, manager. I think we're being told he's the manager just to get the impression that he might have a bit more of a say. I don't think he will. I don't think it makes much of a difference. Me personally, I like Alonso, good coach, and I think he could do good things at Chelsea, but that depends on the window we have. And I'm very exhausted with approaching a window going on about how important it is to have a very good one, because we've had this conversation for the last 2 years, and it always, the next window, we need to do this, but we don't. And it's troubling to be very optimistic about how we approach the next window when we've already blown $1 billion and our squad is mid-table level, pretty much. Like, we're a mid-table squad fighting for Europe every year. That's the reality. That's the reality. We're mid-table fighting for Europe every year. That's our reality after spending £1 billion. So forgive me if I'm not very optimistic. As much as I do think he's a good coach, there's a lot in this squad that needs to be fixed. I mean, we need a goalkeeper, a right back, we need a left back, a centre back, a left winger, a right winger, and maybe a striker if the lap leaves. So there's a lot that needs to be fixed, and I don't think we're gonna address all those areas in one window. I just don't see that happening, and I still think there are a lot of players we need to move on. Like, there are players at Chelsea that just should not be here, that do not belong here. So there's that. Hypothetically speaking, if the squad, if let's say hypothetically we don't sign anyone and he works with the current squad that we have, he's screwed. He is screwed. Like, as it stands, he's screwed. Now, I don't know who we're going to sign. I've not really heard much news. I think some of the players we're linked with, I don't see them joining Chelsea. Like Morgan Rogers, I think he's just going to Arsenal. I don't know. I don't see how or why he would join Chelsea. I heard Mike Mignon was another player that was named. I don't think that's going to happen. I feel like it's just going to be another scenario as it was last year, because we could have gotten him for very cheap, by the way, for a very cheap price, but it didn't happen. Now we're in talks for him again. Apparently, I don't know if it's actually true. I think it might just be paper talk. But yeah, I'm very cautious of who we're bringing in. I mean, I always have to be because the recruitment has been abysmal. But to Xabi Alonso, look, I mean, I like him. He has my support. I just really, really hope that he's not another casualty of Bluco. I really hope, because this needs to stop. This needs to stop. It really does. So yeah, Xabi Alonso, good luck and welcome to Chelsea.